welcome to Podcast Versus Player, episode 184. I'm one of your hosts, Carl, and as always, I'm joined by a man who asked me what's made of leather and sounds like a sneeze. A shoe. Now that's a joke!
Well, that one took me off guard.
That was a pretty good one.
Yep. The shoe. Brilliant. Okay.
It's only bloody Dan.
It is. Hello, world.
Welcome to the very first video PvP podcast. What we're going to call it? Just the PvP podcast, I guess.
Yeah, as it's always been for the last 184 episodes.
83. This is 184.
I can't even talk.
It's
Right.
fine. If you're an audio listener, you can head over to YouTube or podcastversusplay.com and you can watch it for the first time ever in the history of the internet.
And
always,
no, shut up. If you're questioning as to where the other 120 or so are on YouTube, we gave up on putting them up on there because they get zero traffic, so there's literally no point in putting them up. But if there's a video element to it now, then
yeah, why not? We'll see how it goes. The ball's in your court.
No, it's
Dan.
not. You've got a thing to read now. Go on.
I have. I was just going to say, Dan, how are you? That's what I was going to say.
All good, man. All good.
Before we do anything, we've got to get it out of the way, Dan. This week's episode is brought to you by Blueberry. Blueberry is a premier podcast hosting service, and with Podcast Versus Player, you can get 1 month absolutely free. Simply go to blueberry.com, use promo code PVP, and start your podcasting adventure today. Speaking of today, Dan, do you want some news?
I do. I want some good news.
I feel like what we should do at some point is actually have a segment where it's a smooth transition into an ad plug rather than being a smooth transition out of it.
No, I like the forced nature of it. It's just boom, jarring experience. Advert.
It gets it done and out of the way. If I remember, we'll do it again later. But if we don't, we've done it. So,
no,
whatever.
It's done.
Cyberpunk's been delayed. I didn't mean to look happy about that.
Yeah, I mean it's par for the course, I suppose, at this point, really, isn't it?
I said from day one, 2077 was the release date.
Well, there's I did see something on Twitter actually that was one of the developers who was just like, look, we're all disappointed about it, but can you stop sending us death threats?
Yeah.
I mean, get over it. It's a game. I'm excited for it. I can't think of anything more that I want to get my hands on this year. Mm-hmm. And I took time off work. Luckily, I can switch that, and I've got those days off in December now. But I'm disappointed by it. But at the same time, do I want to play it and it's kind of okay after all of this, or do we really want it to be the best possible game that they could release and make?
I do feel that I don't think they're going to do much to it realistically. I think there's going to be more of a, with everything that's happening around the world, are they going to shift as many copies? Yada yada yada. But even if they don't release it, gives a fuck.
Well, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, I'll be massively disappointed, but not enough to send death threats.
No, I think that's crossing a lot. I think it's just people, it's anonymous keyboard warriors who are just like, well, it'll never come back to me, and I can say whatever I want. Whereas they're probably not thinking about the fact that there's someone who's already spending a huge amount of time, that they're disappointed as well because they haven't been able to get this out the door, and then they've got shit like this coming at them where it's someone like, I'll release this, you fuckers, or we'll come and get you. Why? I mean, I'm assuming it's more awful than that. But
yeah, some of them was the one I saw in particular. The one of the devs said they posted the screenshots on Twitter, and it's like, I know where you are, I know where you live, I know where your family are. Release the game, or they're gonna get it, or something to that extent. It's like, Jesus Christ, come on! It's a game.
I mean, that's a criminal threat, surely.
Yeah.
Surely that's something you can let the police know about.
Can Twitter because of GDPR and whatnot, if the police go to Twitter and go, I need the details of this Twitter user at Monkeyhead Magoo, like, can they get his or her actual details? Are they allowed?
I don't know. I imagine it's like a therapy kind of thing, maybe, where or like patient confidentiality, where you couldn't just go and tell some rando about this person and their details and what's going on with them. But if there was a threat to their own life or somebody else's, or like the if you've performed a criminal action, that can't be revealed. But if you're planning to do one, that they can inform the authorities about.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it works in the same kind of thing where it'd be like you're saying my intentions are to come and find your family and hurt them or kill them or whatever.
Yeah.
Then that's intent. So I'd assume so.
And
I mean,
it could
I guess
be
that
prevented.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not even, someone would get busted through their door and they'd be like, you've sent these tweets. They'd be like, oh, I didn't mean it. Like, of course you didn't, but what the fuck would you say? Because obviously, I was hacked. But, like, it's so pathetic, and it's, again, I'd be disappointed. There's plenty of games that get cancelled that everyone gets annoyed about, but they also wouldn't cancel it at this point because...
Yeah, they haven't done it because they want to. And I do think there's other reasons as to why. I think this is the easiest way to go. It's new next gen. We want it to run as good on PS5, Xbox Series X and PC as it will on PS4 and standard Xbox One and the Switch. Fingers crossed. But hey, I did see a thing actually. Phil Spencer has said that he's very interested in, at some point down the line, having a Game Pass app on PlayStation and Nintendo.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Maybe that would be, the olive branch to be like, we're going to put these, make these Xbox things available to you guys. How about, in turn, you have something similar? Some of those PlayStation titles can come over, some of those Nintendo titles can come over. And maybe we can all be one big happy family rather than everyone trying to fucking murder each other.
I disagree. And I think this is another stepping stone for Microsoft to bow out, depending on how well the Series X and Series S perform. They might only do maybe 1-2 more consoles after this and then focus purely on game development and publishing and whatnot. And then you'll have... Because, in all fairness... At this moment in time, I would much rather play Game Pass games on the Switch. That'd be amazing. That'd be so good. It's like the perfect... And I know you're not super big on handhelds, but that'd be fucking awesome.
Well, but then you've got to optimise the game to be able to run on it as well. And obviously, if there's any like the handheld stuff, but the motion control stuff, like any of that... you'd have to make those games. You'd have to tweak them slightly to make it run on something like that.
I think it'd be more of a, rather than the Game Pass we've got on, well, not just me and you, like the rest of the world, that we've got on PC and what we've got on Xbox. I think it would be a Game Pass more in terms of the xCloud on the Switch.
So you could access it if you've got it for something else.
Yeah. So at the minute, you can currently play. I think it's Tomb Raider and Hitman, I want to say. I could be wrong. On the Switch. But it's a like an online server game, much like xCloud.
Stadia.
So it's Stadia, that kind of thing. But it from what I've seen, it works fucking perfectly. And it looks super good as well. And I think these are just like tests they're doing with Square Enix, I think.
Well, rather than reaching out and having Xbox games and PC games available on PlayStation and Nintendo, at this point I'd much rather they focus on having PC and Xbox having the same library before they start reaching out to other platforms and start distributing them on there.
It is really annoying getting a notification and like, this is on Game Pass, Dan. And you go, no, it's not. And I go, oh, no, it's just on console.
Yeah, trust me, I check it every day to see what comes up on it.
Much like last week I installed Rainbow Six.
Yeah, which
It's
would have
not
been a
on
perfect
PC,
video
yeah.
for us, wouldn't it? No, it's not. I imagine that and Doom and whatever, they'll
It will
come up
eventually.
down the
I
line.
was playing Doom yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Eternal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. So good.
I really want to have a go.
Literally, Roscoe was sat like lay on my lap, and I was like, bah, 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 bah. And he's like, every time like I got a little bit giddy, his little ears was like plop plop, because he just lay there like. It was fun, but no, it's super fun. It's not different than the previous one, just better.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah. I've died a lot,
But,
so.
But yeah, no, I want that and Halo 4 because
Is 4
Halo
not
3
on
is
yet?
the last. No.
God
So
damn.
3, I haven't finished 3 yet. I mean, I did forever ago, but not on the PC one.
Yeah.
But 4 hasn't turned up yet. When's 5 actually out? Do we know?
5's out now.
What's the newest one?
Infinite. The one,
Yes,
like the
that's what I
upcoming
mean.
one.
Yeah.
Infinite. So 5's already out, but you don't. That's not part of the Master Chief collection, and it's shit.
Does that mean that it's not on the? Is it not in the PC Master Chief collection list? Because I don't remember checking.
It's
it,
on
but
Game Pass. I don't know if it's on
sworn
PC
there's a few
Game
under
Pass.
there. No.
It's on Xbox Game Pass, but you play as like a different Spartan and stuff. I didn't like it. I played about maybe 2 hours of it, and I was like, don't like it.
Well, yeah, I've got the same thing with ODST. Like I just
ODST I thought was interesting, and I don't hate it.
I think maybe if I'd have played it at the time, maybe
I think I
I
forced
might have
myself
been
to
more
like
into
it
it.
because I paid full price.
Yeah,
I had to
but this was
justify
just like I just got off the back of playing the Halo 2 Anniversary Edition, like the remaster, which looks so good, and went into ODST and it just looks terrible. And like there's, I don't know, it's just all in one little city, and it's just like I gave it a good go, but I started Halo 3 not long afterwards.
No.
Because at least I know where I stand with that.
What still annoys me about Halo 3, the trailer from E3 where Master Chief's in the desert and he's got...
Oh yeah, it's like running and then does like a jump off the...
Yeah, but when it
edge or
first
whatever.
reveals, it's like a guy walking and he's got a hood on and a cloak and everything, and then the camera turns and it's Master Chief. You're like, why has he got a fucking hood and a cloak?
I don't think that was 3, was it?
I'm sure it's
Because 3 was like there was a little kid and his mate in a field, and then like when they were
That might have been
dreaming,
4.
like got maybe because I haven't played that.
I remember it definitely being an E3 trailer because it looked real fucking good, looked super good, and then I say he's just got like a hood on, like a brown hood and a cloak, and it turns and it's Master
Like
Chief.
Megatron.
Yeah, and exactly the same response to that. Why? Don't fucking...
You made a metal.
Yeah.
Why have you got a cloak on?
You can...
What you do? It was camouflage.
I mean,
12 foot tall. For God's
in
sake.
terms of like cinematic feelings, it's like, ooh, wonder who this is going to be. Especially in Halo's case, you didn't know it was a Halo game, so that could have been any game. But Megatron, it's like, well, wonder who this giant, fucking evil-looking Transformer
It's
is.
got to be a bad guy, surely. Yeah.
I still hate that design so much.
Well, they haven't included him in the new... Like, so Bumblebee, I don't think had Megatron in it, did it?
No.
Like at the start? Because there's like a bunch of...
I don't think so. There's a bunch of
I
there's a
can't
bunch of
remember,
different
but-
Transformers there, and he's like, Bumblebee, go! And he's just like,
Yeah, because... Good
Thanks.
advice. Yeah.
Such a good film.
But yeah, Cyberpunk. Yeah, it's... Yeah, I'm gutted, but what can you do?
only-
You're just going to have to wait a bit longer.
Yeah, but it's hardly like it's gone from it should have been out tomorrow, now it's going to be out in February. It's like 2 weeks. Like,
Yeah, because... And like people are sort of throwing it back and saying like, oh, you know, someone tweeted yesterday, is it definitely going to come out?
Yeah.
And you said, yeah, definitely 100%. And then literally the day afterwards you said, now it's going to be back in December. Well, do you genuinely think that the dude who runs their Twitter account is going to be, the CEO is going to be calling you up, just be like, hold the press, don't send any more tweets. Like, we can't confirm it.
I'd be hard pressed to say that the guy or girl that runs the Cyberpunk or CD Projekt Red Twitter account actually works there, and they're probably just a social media handler who are just going, well, as far as I'm aware, it's coming out on this day. Blah blah blah.
That's
blah,
what
blah,
they've told
blah.
me. Yeah, of course.
I do like that. Did you see the tweet where they've quoted it, and it's got the tweet saying like, "No, there'll be no more delays," and then the tweet saying there'll be delays, and then another tweet from them going, "Think anyone will notice if we delete this really quick?"
I did see that. Yeah, I think I saw that on Instagram. I thought someone had just made that though.
No, that was what they actually tweeted it out. It is shit, but like again, as soon as it was tied into the release date of the PS5, you're like, well, something's going to happen. Because it is.
Yeah, I think if it was... So we'd gotten to... This was what, last week, I think it was?
Yeah.
So it was 3 weeks, I think, from that point that it was due to be... And then that was like, oh my shit, like, it is right around the corner. A couple of more weeks and then I can actually get it and play it. If they'd have said, actually, it's going to be like mid next year instead, I think a lot of people would have been like, oh. But if they say it's 20 odd days, so let's say that for it to get to the point where it actually has to, it is definitely going to be released. It is March, April next year. Is it going to be easier for them to say it's not going to be released until March, April, or are they going to say, actually, it's going to be December? And then as soon as we get to like the end-ish of November, they're going to say, actually, it's going to be January. And just sort of...
frogging it each time.
Yeah, just move the goalposts just a little bit every time.
Well, the shares have gone down, haven't they?
I don't know which I'd prefer.
I'd rather this came out and went, it's going to be next year. Rather than...
Honestly,
the more disappointment they give, the less happy people are going to be when it actually finally comes out. I don't.
Yeah, this is affecting their stock prices.
Yeah,
now.
the stocks have gone down like 2.5% or something like that.
No, it's like 25%.
25%. Sorry.
Yeah, it was brutal. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that this is purely just off the public and press reaction, rather than anyone's lost faith in the business itself.
When you think on, this was effectively a launch title for the next gen, and if anything's going to make somebody buy an Xbox Series X or a PS5. It's going to be a game like Cyberpunk. And if they can't, they'll just go off. I'll just get it on fucking PlayStation 4, or I'll just steal it for free on PC.
Yeah. Well, as they said, that there's like 9 different platforms that they've got to optimize this thing for.
What are they though? So you've got PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S. PS5 digital is exactly the same as the PS5 disc edition. So
yeah, but the game itself, if there's certain locks in there to stop it from playing outside of it being played on a disc, like they've got to remove any like CD stuff from it, so it would have to be a purely digital option.
Yeah, but that would just be the same as like the PC version, wouldn't it?
But there's different optimizations that you have with the PC, so it's not a one-fit-all for PC.
No, I'm just thinking, is it out on Xbox One and Xbox One S?
One S, I imagine so. One, I don't know.
Because I know it's on Xbox One X, because that'd be your 9.
Yeah.
That'd be all 9 platforms. Yeah. Unless it is coming out on Switch.
Not unless you had one of those Nintendo expansion packs that clicks into the back.
Hey, they did it with The Witcher.
What?
The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
That's out on... No, not the expansion pack thing. I mean, brought it to Switch.
Yeah. But it's the worst version though. So
I'd be happy
if you want to play Cyberpunk and enjoy Cyberpunk. Why would you get it for the Switch?
Maybe you haven't got a PlayStation or an Xbox or a PC.
I don't care. Like this is, I mean, with the just the hype and the media I'd say it's fairly safe to say it is one of, if not the most hyped game ever.
Oh yeah, probably not ever, but
rightly or wrongly so.
Definitely for this year.
You know, a GTA or whatever will be, oh my god, there's a new GTA, but that's something that people are usually only aware of a year before, maybe.
What about Pokemon on the Switch? The first proper Pokemon RPG, Sword and Shield.
But that's going to just be people who are interested in Pokemon games.
I reckon there's more.
Like Cyberpunk's far more reaching.
You reckon?
Like in terms of it's like action, story. Like
I reckon the install base for Pokemon will be bigger than Cyberpunk.
After all of this, I don't think so.
After all of this, I definitely think so.
Yeah, I mean, at least they'll actually release it though.
Yeah,
eventually.
It's going to come out. I just obviously, again, it's disappointing. But if nothing else, now I've got chance to catch up on. I still haven't finished Ghost of Tsushima, so I need to finish that.
Well, Valhalla's out in November as well.
It's out next week.
Well, I won't get it for Steam, I'll tell you that much.
As the only launcher you can play is Uplay at the moment, luckily for you.
Uplay it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's out next week.
I think it will default
or the week after. What are we on?
Uplay.
2nd. So I think it is next week. I think it's out on the 9th. I think.
Okay. Well, that's good though, because I'll probably get that, because I don't think, other than Grim Fandango, which I've started playing again on Game Pass, which is a
1998.
95,
I think it was 95 actually. Nice Summit.
So that's
definitely nice Summit.
Almost a 30-year-old game.
Well, technically not, because it's the remaster that's on Game Pass.
Which is true.
And that only came out like 5 years ago.
No, because on Game Pass it's 2020, so they must have done some extra tweaks and stuff to get it working.
I think a lot of them say that it's the year it came out on Game Pass.
Well, I bought the remaster on Steam, so whenever that was, a couple of years ago maybe, but never got round to finishing it. But fucking hell, it's hard. I don't know if it's just because it's so much of it's like lateral thinking. So like there was a bit I was doing in a forest where I've just got, at the moment I'm just playing game on this screen, walk through on this screen, because I'm just like, what am I doing? Like this is a thing, and then it's just like, oh, you've got to pick up these bones from the bridge, and then you throw the bones into the tar, and then as a fire beaver jumps on it, you spray it with a fire extinguisher, and do that 3 times.
How would you figure that out?
Where's my hints and tips? I haven't got 8 weeks to sit down and figure this out. I want to power through it and get on, but there's no tips. There's no nothing. It's just
what you want to do
brutal.
is go back to when I was like 12 or something, so like 6 years ago, and start playing Sam & Max Hit the Road by LucasArts on PC when the internet didn't exist in my house, so I had to figure that out, and that game lasted me about 15 years. It was so hard.
It's either game magazines, walkthrough guides, or friends at school who might have gone further than you.
And you just have to take the word for stuff. Like the.
Well, there was another bit where it was in the same forest, and because I got through the stuff in the tourist office, I got through all that fairly straightforwardly. But then when it gets to the forest, there's a sign that you've got to pick up and take it into a different screen, and then when you put the sign in the ground, it points to a direction. But it doesn't tell you, because then there's 9 different tunnels that if you go into, just pop straight out of a different one. So I put the thing down, and then it points in a direction. So I went through that in the car, and then you just come out of another one. And then I was like, I don't get it. So I did it again, and it pointed in a slightly different way. So I was like, oh, maybe it's calibrating or whatever. And it's still just coming through and then coming through. So then I went into a different thing and then back to it, and then I came back to it again. Then opened up the walkthrough, and apparently you have to take it out of the ground, put it down. It will point in a direction, but not telling you to go through that tunnel. It's you move it in that direction and put it down again, and then it will change direction, and then you keep on doing that until it opens a secret hatch in the middle of the thing. So all of the tunnels around it have got nothing to do with anything.
It's a puzzle game, man.
I just don't know how people did this back in the days.
You have to use your brain.
I just don't know if
Funnily...
Yeah, but when I put a thing down in the ground and it says go this way, I assume it means through the fucking tunnel that's right in front of it. Rather than, oh, actually, that's just a misdirect and you just move it a little bit further. It's telling you where to put the sign. But there's no indication that you have to do that.
These games are hard as balls, mate.
Like, I didn't even know that you could move that sign. It's just, I mean, thank God for the internet. That's all
I will say, because I had Grim Fandango for PC, like, when it came out, like, years and years ago. And
yeah, it came out on the original PlayStation.
Yeah.
Mate.
Super old, mate. Super old. And I bought the remaster on PlayStation 4, I think. I want to say, but it came with a free digital version on PS Vita, and it's the second game I ever completed on Vita.
I mean, do you just remember most of it though?
I remembered some of the stuff. I did have to go on and I did look online for some things that I just genuinely could not remember for the life of me.
Yeah.
No, third game, Jet Set Radio was the other one, and Uncharted was the other one.
Steam that I haven't finished yet, but I was quite enjoying that when I was playing it.
Jet Set Radio was amazing. I had that on the Sega Dreamcast.
Ooh.
And I had Jet Set Radio Future on the original Xbox, and then they killed the franchise.
I didn't know they made a sequel to it.
Yeah, because originally Microsoft wanted Sega to make Dreamcast games work on the Xbox. So they had like a big catalogue to start with, and Sega went, nah, fuck you. And then Sega went bankrupt and they went, hey, do you want some games? And they're like, nah, fuck you, but we'll buy that property and we'll buy that property. And they made a couple. They made that Yakuza Missions, that was the Sega thing, Condemned, and Jet Set Radio Future. They are a bit of Dreamcast trivia for you.
Yeah.
I love my Dreamcast.
An obsolete console that no one gives a shit about anymore.
Seaman. That's all I need to say.
Except for Seaman.
And Samba de Amigo.
Like, that is something that should translate through into current gen consoles and PC now, surely. Like, everyone's got a headset and a microphone and whatever. Like,
it was a novelty thing.
It was, but you had to buy like a special Dreamcast microphone to be able to talk to Seaman. So surely it makes...
Don't refer to him as a person.
But it's engaging enough to be, you know, a new friend maybe, a little fishy friend.
Well, they had Milo, didn't they, on the Xbox for Kinect? Remember the kid?
Yeah, they pretended to. Yes, you're right.
This is what you'll be able to do.
You'll be able to draw a picture and hold it up to Milo. He'll be able to take that picture from you, and he's got it on his... No sign of it, ever. The Killer X, what an absolute fucking waste of everybody's time.
But what you did get was Star Wars.
And Fruit Ninja.
Fruit Ninja was good. Shut your dirty face.
No, that's literally the... I've still got a Kinect, mate. I got that, and the, like, Kinect Adventures or whatever it is that comes with it.
Ugh.
Literally the only two things that I've ever done with it.
Fruit Ninja was good.
Kinect Adventures, we played it for a bit, like just to sort of, you know, it's a novelty thing. It's like the Wii Fit, whatever, Wii Sports. Whatever.
Well, let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
No, I just mean in the sense that it's what.
Yeah,
comes
it came
with
bundled with the device.
Yeah, because like I was thinking about getting Kinectimals, but I soon got bored of the Kinect. Just like, I think the only thing I used it for was for Mass Effect 3.
Yeah,
because you could say commands and stuff. But obviously it doesn't really pick it up all the time, and if there's background noise, it doesn't. It's. Like, I did try the what was it, the mech thing, the Steel Battalion. I had like the demo for that.
Oh right,
but
yeah.
You know, you like pulling levers and whatever, but like it's got minimal depth perception. So if you're reaching for a thing up here, but it, you know, if you're looking for something just behind that, maybe it won't be able to tell the difference. And like in the middle of a firefight, it's kind of, you know, quick thinking and reactions are kind of key.
Did you ever play? Now I may get the title of the game wrong, so I apologise if there's any fans of the game. But I think it was called Red Steel on the Wii, and you used the.
I haven't got a Wii.
No, I said, hey, did you ever play it? I didn't say, have you got it? I'm just saying.
I don't think I've ever.
You've definitely played a Wii
a couple of times. But
basically,
not like it was like Smash Brothers, Mario. That's it.
Well, you had you had your Wii remote and you had the nunchuck, and the nunchuck was a gun, and you had and then the Wii remote was a sword, and you're like this ninja cowboy dude, and you run around and you're just like it was shit, but like, I really like the idea of it because it was quite cool.
Wait, was this like with a puppet? It was like a puppet skeleton.
No. It was like a first person, like imagine Far Cry, but way worse. It looks shit, but it was quite fun. So
Right, okay.
For what it was, I really liked it, but I think I really liked it again. I paid full price for this game.
I need to be able to say I like it, otherwise I've wasted all
bought
the
a
money.
Wii. I actually bought 2 and a Wii U. I still stand by the Wii U. It was a terrific console.
Sure.
It was. Still got one. It's one upstairs. In the bath.
No one cares. Literally no one cares.
Nintendo didn't. They ran it to the fucking ground. Anyway, sad news. Sean Connery passed away at the weekend.
He did. Now, I know what some people are going to think straight away. Wasn't he a misogynist and he beat his wife or whatever? Yeah.
Did he?
That's all I've got to say. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I don't think it was like explicitly like, on the red carpet, but yeah, it's...
Oh well.
He wasn't a...
Haven't we all at some point?
He wasn't a perfect human being, but he was a great James Bond, so props to him for that.
And he was in Indiana Jones.
And he was also the bad guy in the Avengers.
What?
No, not
John Steele and
the Ralph Fiennes.
Whoever the other... What was the girl called?
He was like the weatherman or whatever.
He was in a lot of bad films, wasn't he? League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. The Rock.
That's not bad.
The Rock, to be fair.
I mean, considering it's Sean Connery, Nick Cage, and it's directed by Michael Bay, I mean, that should be a recipe for just an absolute shit show, but it kind of works.
I heard a rumour that Michael Bay approached Connery to play to do the voice of Optimus Prime in Transformers.
I don't think you'd understand. Like, do you want to be the voice of a giant alien? Whoa! What? Where's my wife? Sorry.
Holy shit!
Cut that.
No,
that
was the best joke of the fucking show.
Right. Okay. Like he can't wrap his head around it.
I can't see it, especially when Peter Cullen's not dead. So why would you get anybody else to play him?
I don't know, maybe it's just because he knows him and he's just like, you're short on work. Do you want to do some voiceover work maybe? Like, I don't know if he's ever done voiceover work.
I'm assuming he's done something, hasn't he?
I imagine he has.
I did see a tweet from I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but Donald Trump. Basically saying, obviously it's very sad Sean Connery passed away, and then he goes on to say if it wasn't for Sean Connery, there was like a golf resort thing he wanted to build in Scotland, and everyone's like, fuck you, get out of here, you twat. And then Sean Connery stood up and said let him build what he wants, and because they respected him so much they let him. And then this tweet went out and everything, and then basically like the council for Scotland who gave the authorization to build this were like, no, we didn't. We didn't get a letter from Sean Connery. He never made any public acknowledgement of this event happening. He never came to see us. What we did.
So he just declared on behalf of Scotland.
So Donald Trump's there like, the reason this exists is because Sean Connery let me, and that wasn't the reason at all.
Like, he's like the king of the Scots.
It's like, we're going to change the wheelie bins from green to like a salmon colour. Sean Connery's just like, no, we're not. And they're like, no, we're not. Like, Sean Connery doesn't want to, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Maybe that's just the thing, though, isn't it? It's just like he's so deluded that someone who's even remotely famous who says, yeah, it should be fine, he just goes, that's the green light and it gets for me.
That's all I need. Like,
I had one person from your country who said I could do this. So, what more do you want?
That was Tommy Lee Jones. He's not Scottish. Doesn't matter.
Got a great accent though.
No, it's very sad. Like, I really liked quite a lot of Sean Connery films. It doesn't say what he died from though. It just says he was ill for a long time.
I mean, he was quite old.
Yeah, he was 90.
So it could be, it could be any manner of things. But by the time you hit your sort of 90s, you know that it could be anything that takes you out.
Yeah, he had a pretty good life.
Hey,
Super famous, super rich.
Was he knighted? Was he?
I didn't. Yes, Sir Sean Connery.
Yeah, because I think he would have been for like same as like Roger Moore, like you be Bond for long enough and iconic enough. Like, because I imagine it's like a knighthood for the arts or whatever.
Yeah, I suppose so. Because I know.
I mean, I imagine he does like charity work and what have you as well, but I don't know. I haven't looked into the life and times and tribulations of Sean Connery.
I mean, it'll be all over the BBC, so have a blast at it.
No.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I got really, news-wise. But just purely because you said on about knighting, I saw a funny story with Ed Sheeran, British pop sensation, little ginger fella. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course I do.
Oh, right. You just look really puzzled. Anyway, he was on the Graham Norton show, and he's got like a not a scar, but like a cut under his eye. And Graham Norton's like, the scar, and he's like, I'll stop you there. I can't talk about it. Like, legally, I can't talk about it, and you know why I can't talk about it. And Graham Norton's just like, well, can I just say what the alleged story is? And if it's right, just nod your head. And Ed Sheeran's just like, no. So Graham Norton starts talking, and basically he's pissing about with one of the princesses in Windsor Castle. And there's him, this Princess Bird, and James Blunt, another old pop singer. Mm-hmm. And one of them says like they've always wanted to be knighted. So this princess, who can't be named, goes and gets a sword and knights them.
I already know where this is going. Yeah. Nicks
him. And then Graham Norton's like, that's the alleged story. Is that what happened? And he's just like, I can't talk about it. But I don't know how anyone found out about it, because there was only me, the princess, well, then he says the name, and James Blunt, allegedly. He's like, fuck. So,
I mean, that's a cool story, though.
I imagine it's more for the royals are saying like, you can't say anything about this because she could have killed you.
No, I think it'd be more sort of like, we can't just have it known that just random people could just come in here and just have a piss about and
yeah. I mean, they're not
wave
random.
Swords around. No, I know, but it's not like a rando off the street. But it's not a member of the royal family. It's not a member of parliament. It's just a singer, and yet he got cut in the face with a royal sword.
I think that's better than being knighted.
I doubt many people would want one if that was what you had to do.
Yeah. Do you want to get knighted, or
you have to be like
get
scarred onto the?
It's like fucking tiny. You can barely see it.
I know, but it's still a sword that's that close to your eye.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine you'd shit your pants.
That'd have been way
losing
worse.
an eye in the palace with a royal sword for knighting people.
I would make the monarchs make me a cybernetic eye for the hassle of what they did.
I don't think they're that smart, mate.
No, not.
They've got like a secret R&D lab under Buckingham Palace.
Okay, pay for.
That they could do.
Well, rather than make it themselves. I don't trust Charles. Anyway, don't know what this is about. Anyway, if you've forgotten, this episode is brought to you by Blueberry. Blueberry is a premier podcast hosting service, and with Podcast Hosters Player, you can get 1 month absolutely free. Just go to PvP. No, just go to blueberry.com and use promo code PVP and start your podcasting adventure today. Dan, have you enjoyed today?
Yep.
Have you enjoyed today? I mean, I'm even more convinced. Right.
I mean, I was trying to get you something to demonstrate how happy I was about it, but...
a thumbs up. I did one for each of us.
Nah, it's fine.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I thought it was interesting.
What was it?
Yes.
Oh, good.
I wanted to show something.
Oh, I've got something for you.
Go on, then.
I'm going to share a little screen, if I can figure this out. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Who's that? I'll either a name or an alien species name, race, whatever.
Barbara.
Give me either. No.
No clue.
No.
Genuinely no clue.
Well, forget it.
It looks like more like someone out of Thundercats.
Oh, what, because of the spots? Oh, right, okay. Well, that was Jadzia Dax, and she's a trill, so there you go.
I would.
Your Star Trek
wouldn't have
question
got
of the
that
week.
one. I failed it. The very first video Star Trek trivia, and I failed miserably.
Yeah, and now I can share them with you over it as
That's
well.
better, though.
which is
That's
always good.
better. That's better than WhatsApping it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you just sent me the link, which has got the name in the...
I mean, I'll try not to do that, but...
Anyway. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Woo.
Obi-Wan Guacamole is the little Dickens. Not the cute... What are you on about, you fucking idiot? He sets off to find a familiar face helmet. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, like when they're on the speed, on the land speeder, and his little ears like...
On the speedway.
And
Yeah.
I don't know why he's like a zombie.
Oh, don't go for that one.
Right, you know Darth Vader?
Vaguely.
No, Vader.
Yeah.
Darth Vaguely. He's like he was the bad guy from the
He
Jungle
thought
Book.
he was a Sith.
Still weren't sure.
He might not have been.